Hi.
The topic for today is how can two things be true at the same time? You want to start with your thoughts or should I start with mine?
I kind of want you to start with your thoughts because I'm not sure necessarily what you mean by two things being true at the same time. I'll make my best guess right now and then you can tell me if I'm right or not. I think it refers to something you're struggling with, a feeling you have being true, but also an alternative perspective also being a possibility. Is that accurate at all?
Yeah, I think I I wrote an essay about this and I was talking about how let's say you have a problem. I don't know, like your keyboard doesn't work, let's say. I don't know. In the two statements that can be true at the same time are like, yeah, my keyboard doesn't work, this sucks, and this is a really bad example too, but I can get another keyboard, or at least I have a keyboard. And maybe just some keys don't work on your keyboard, so you could be like, yeah, the overall the keyboard is, bad, but at least some of the keys work and some don't, which is not great. But that's, I guess, one example I could give.
I think I understand what you mean by some of the keys not working, but at least I have a keyboard. And I think what I'm getting from that means at least something's workable, something can be done, like there is a path forward. And what I'm also getting is called out for giving you a shoddy keyboard at the beginning of having your build, your PC build.
No, that's not. I don't know.
I'm just teasing you.
Okay. Yeah, I was also, and I don't remember exactly what I wrote, but for me personally, it's been a challenge for years now where I've seen things in a black and white perspective, and it's been like more black than not. And what I learned in therapy too was looking at the gray area in like the black and white thinking perspective that a lot of people have. It's kind of like a problem solving perspective that people have, where there's like a problem and you have to solve it and you have to figure out how to solve it. But like the gray area could be, I don't have to solve it right now, or yes, this is overwhelming, but I can solve it later. Something like that.
Right. There's nuance. It's not all is lost or everything is great. It's recognizing that there's a common. It's exactly what you're saying. Two things can be true at the same time.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, what do you make of that information? Or before I get ahead of myself, where did you make this discovery? How did you make it?
I was in therapy session and my therapist asked me that question, how can two things be true at the same time or be true at once? And it's kind of a deep question is what, I thought. Like how I couldn't wrap my head around it, I guess, at first, because I was like, I don't know how two things can be true at the same time. I guess this is so stupid.
I don't think it's stupid. I think it might just be tricky. It's difficult to unwrap.
Yeah. It kind of came out in my essay, and now I can't think of examples or anything.
Let me ask you about volleyball, because you wrote that essay a little bit after, I believe it was our first session at the park peppering. Not our first session ever playing volleyball together, but where you really pushed yourself, and I pushed you a little bit. And I noticed some shifts in perspective there that happened in real time on the field, and maybe some contemplative nature that you exuded afterwards. Am I accurate in that observation? Is there any way that that experience relates to this pondering that you're having?
I mean, I guess I can say that volleyball is challenging for me, and I get frustrated with myself. And I think I can say that it takes time for me to not be hard on myself about things. Like you were saying, how just think of it like of what's next kind of type of mindset. And that's really, really hard for me.
Yeah. And I'm realizing it's really, really hard for me too, because that phrase seems to have stuck with you, and you've been repeating it to me all week when I start to fall into a negative spiral of thinking, which just goes to show in some ways, I think, how profound of an effect it has for both of us. Can you tell me more about your perspective on that, of what it means to focus on the next thing?
I think now I kind of am recalling what I had written, and I think I was saying how, people get stuck in this mindset of everything is wrong all the time, basically. And I don't think that's necessarily true. Not everything is wrong all the time. And when you get into that mindset, especially if it's been kind of ingrained in you for years, like it's been ingrained in me for years, it's hard to come out of that mindset. I really tried with volleyball to, I don't know, like think past my negative self-talk of like, oh my God, you're horrible. Oh my God, you're messing up left and right. Just give up. Stuff like
Right.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is really easy to do to ourselves.
Yeah.
I can totally relate. And what I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm repeating myself at all, but what was there something specific about the practice or the exercise itself that helped break you out of the I'm horrible, that made you transition from everything is bad to, okay, I can see where my focus should go, what matters, and how I can improve and see the path forward?
I think, and this takes some getting used to and a lot of practice, but there is something that switches in your brain, especially with a lot of therapy, where you start to notice your own thinking patterns and you start to kind of hear yourself thinking, I guess you could say. And for me, when I was doing volleyball, I noticed that I was doing it when I didn't catch the ball, or when I did catch the ball, or when I let it like fly over my head. I noticed myself and my brain, really, not myself. I mean, my brain is myself. Anyways, I noticed my brain starting to say, "Oh my God." And I'm not sure what it's called in psychology, but there is like a way to stop that, I guess. The minute you notice it, you can switch it and make, think of something else that's more positive.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Do you think the repetition, the pace at which we're doing the exercise helps you identify it more quickly and then also provide opportunities for you to correct literally the next one and the next one? Because I feel like a lot of times in life, we do something, we have an experience, we feel like we messed up, and then it's over. And we don't get another chance to fix that. But because of the repetitive nature of what we're doing, and I mean, just for anyone who's listening and doesn't quite understand, we're not like playing volleyball. We're just working on fundamental skills like passing, setting, and hitting at the most basic level. And when you don't understand the mechanics, it's very easy to see when you're messing up. It's super obvious. And so what I'm asking is, do you feel like that process lended itself to helping you identify and fix it because of the repetition?
I think yeah, it did. Yes. Um, I think I noticed just thinking back how when I started learning, the basic like hits and passes and setting the ball and whatnot, it was very easy for me to be like, oh my god, I messed up. Oh my god, I messed up. Oh my god, I messed up again and again and again and again. And I think, yeah, the repetition of doing it again and again and again and seeing myself progress as well made me think, oh, maybe I can do this.
Yeah. And that's a beautiful statement to hear from anyone. Maybe I can do this. And that doesn't just apply to volleyball. I don't mean to get on a soapbox for a second, but just, in my time playing sports and my time both playing and coaching esports, one thing I love is how much it is a representation of who we are in other parts of life. People think, like playing video games is nonsense. It has nothing to do with anything. It's just a waste of time. But the experiences I've gained from working on specific skills, and we don't have to get into the whole weeds of this, but like, for example, playing Counter-Strike with you. I don't know if you recognize it yet, but you're already doing certain mechanical movements in the video game better than you were doing when you first started. And that comes from new connections, new synapses being made in the brain. That happens unconsciously just through practice. But there is a sort of confidence that comes with that. And I think when we go through life feeling like I can't do anything, that's really hard. But as soon as you do the small repetitive failures over and over again that give you that confidence, when you go beyond the subconscious improvement into, oh, wow, I just saw that I was able to do something, that can really be paradigm shifting. Then you think, well, what else can I do? It's not just about you, Zosie, being able to play Counter-Strike or pass a volleyball to me. If you can do those things, what else are you capable of?
Yeah.
I don't know if that stayed on topic with two things being true at once, but you can get us back on track if that's the case.
I think it does kind of relate because when your mind is so used to focusing on the negative perspectives of things and really dumbing you down to, I can't do anything right, it's really awesome to see people come out of their shell and do things that are challenging and find out that, yeah, I can do this one challenging thing, at least this one challenging thing. And I think kind of does tie back to having things be, two things being true at the same time, where you can still doubt yourself and find out. And let me rephrase. You can still be good. Sorry, I messed up. You can still doubt yourself and try things and be decent at them and find out that, yeah, I'm good at it, and change that mindset of I'm the worst person ever.
Yeah, absolutely. And you just reminded me of something even more subtle that I think a lot of people don't realize. And it's even when you become really good at something, when you become a quote unquote master, that doesn't mean you're done. There's still so much more you don't know. In fact, I'd argue the more knowledgeable you become in something, the more you realize how little you actually know. And I think the wisest, most practiced practitioners of things understand that if they stop, they actually won't retain that ability or that knowledge forever. They have to continue being curious. The curiosity and the willingness to fail is what got them to this esteemed position to begin with. And in order to continue that climb, that growth, it's not about resting on your laurels and going, okay, I figured it out. I've made it. No one ever really makes it. You just keep going and you accept the beauty of the struggle, as it were. And the successes you have are the fleeting moments that we really appreciate in our lives as we push ourselves.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about, Zosie, before we close out here for this episode?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think that was pretty good. I really appreciate you bringing that up. And I'm looking forward to talking about the next thing, which you called me out for before we started recording. But we'll save that for another episode. It was really nice getting back to this and chatting with you again, because it's been a minute.
Yeah. Okay. Me out.
We out.